થાઇરોઇડ વાંધો છે એનો લે
Good morning, everyone. I hope your test was easy and you did good. Now we are going to begin with the next chapter. And this chapter is motion in a plane. Okay. Now, in this chapter, most of the things that we have studied, as far as physics is concerned, most of the things are same, like the previous chapter. But what is different? What is different is that here, when we start talking about planes or when we start talking about 2 dimensions, right? Understanding vectors becomes very important, right? Understanding the vectors becomes very important. So a lot of part of this chapter is dedicated to vectors and vectors only, right? Okay. And then, well, we have physics as usual. Once we understand these things like vectors and all that, okay, we can get on with talking about displacements and velocities and speeds and this, that, everything. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so the first concept that we need to understand in this chapter is what is meaning of 2 dimensions, right? Speaking roughly, 2 dimensions means 2 directions, right? Speaking roughly, without trying to use a lot of maths, 2 dimensions means 2 directions. Okay, plane is 2 dimensional. I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? You can always think of it like this. You can always think of it like this. Suppose there is floor of a room. Okay, let's say this is floor of a room and this is top view. Okay, you're watching it from the sky, let's say. All right, this is what you would see. This is the floor. So on this floor, if a person would walk, right, or maybe a little insect would move everywhere, then I hope you realize that that thing could go left, right, okay, and that could also go up and down in this drawing, right? Actually, it won't be up towards sky, right? So what I'm saying is that here motion is possible in 2 different directions, right? One is horizontal in this diagram, the second is vertical in this diagram. All right, so if let's say this room of yours is aligned with east, west, north, south directions as follows, right? Then I'm sure you understand that it is possible that something might move on the east west line, or it might move on north south line, or actually anywhere as a combination of both. That is, it's possible that this person might go from here to there, right? So that is why this is motion in 2 dimensions, or you can say it could actually be in 2 separate directions. All right, now mathematically what this means is that to represent anything here, I repeat, to represent or to talk about anything in such a case, we will need at least two numbers. I repeat, we will need two numbers, right? Only one will not. So sorry, the connection just dropped and got back. All right. Can everyone hear me? Can all of you hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay. All right. Fine. So let's continue. I'm sure you can see the screen also. Yeah. So I was saying that to express things here, to express or to, you know, uh, to give a complete picture of things here, you need two numbers, right? You need two numbers. So let's start with an example that will help you understand how we need two numbers. So first of all, we are going to start with position. Okay, everyone, please be alert. I hope the remaining 13 or 15 people have are not preparing for exam, right? Because they are going to dearly miss what I'm going to teach today. Okay, so let's take one very interesting case, right? I really like to explain it like this. Suppose you are a spy. Okay, let's say you are a spy. All right. Okay. And you're watching someone, maybe a terrorist, okay, by using a helicopter, right? Let's say you have got a secret kind of technology, right? So that you are flying in a helicopter and you're not going to be visible, right? And you are spying on a terrorist. So let's say that this here is origin O, right? Where X is cross. So let's say this is the house of the terrorist, maybe in some forest or somewhere. All right, we don't know where, right? That's not really important. So let's say the terrorist comes out of the house and goes here and there, right? And finally stands at this place. Okay. Now, if you would like to describe this, let's say you are spying, so you have to you have to report the position, right? Suppose you want to report the position to your superiors, okay, like you might have seen in some movies, right? Okay, so then do you realize that one easy way to do it is to talk about coordinates, right? Let's say you could call this east direction, this is west, let's say north and south. Okay, so then you could say that this person is in coordinate forms. Okay, let's say 30 meter, okay, towards east. So this is 30 meter. I hope that makes sense, right? And like you used to do it in 10th standard, this is going to be the y coordinate, right? So let's call that towards the north. So suppose 50 meter towards the north. Okay, so then you will report the position as 30 meter east, 30 meter east, and 50 meter north of the house. Correct? See, this is reference or origin. I hope you all remember what I taught you in the previous chapter, that whenever you want to talk about position, you definitely must write about reference. So look at this whole thing. To give the complete position, to give exact detail of the position, you need two numbers. Which two? Well, you need 30 meter, right? Without this 30 meter, it's incomplete, right? And you also need this 50 meter. So you need two numbers. Okay. right? No, I'm not talking about magnitude and direction right now, Vedant. We will eventually get to magnitude and direction, right? Okay. I'm I'm talking about a, basic thing, how position can be explained or expressed using coordinates, right? I hope that is clear to everyone, right? Okay, but yes, the point that I told you still stands true. To describe this, you need two numbers. If you say only one number, let's say you just say this. Let's say, you just say this, right? Only 50 meters. That could mean the terrorist is anywhere on this line. I hope that makes sense, right? So that's not an exact position. So you definitely need to put one more number, right? I hope you understood that. So together these two give us exact position, 30-meter east and 50-meter north of a house. All right, here. Okay, so what this is telling you is that everything, when we are talking about a plane, like we are assuming, listen, we are assuming that this terrorist, okay, always moves on the land. But suppose instead of terrorist, let's say you are not a spy, right? Somehow you are, let's say, a bird watcher. Okay, there are people who love to see and study birds, right? I am one of those, right? So let's say you are a bird watcher. Now, in this case, only two numbers might not be enough because birds can fly, right? So let's say instead of house, we can replace it by maybe the nest or something, right? Okay, and then you could say that, okay, the bird is flying high in the sky, so maybe it's 10 meter above the ground, right? I hope you understand what I said, right? So if you are talking about plane is two dimensional, 2D, that is only x and y are required, two numbers, 2D. Earlier we have talked about line, motion in a line, 1D. Only one number is required, either x or y. I hope you remember that. Only one number. Yes or no? And then if it's space, space is 3D, right? Space is 3D. So here you need three numbers, x, y, and z, three coordinates. Right? I hope that's clear to all of you. अरे एक सीधी रीते विचारो, suppose this is a room, okay, and you take origin somewhere, let's say from this corner, and if I ask you where is a particular fly in the room, okay, then do you realize you need to tell me three things? You need to tell me how much is it on the right side. I hope you get what I'm saying. Let's say fly is here, then you have to tell me how much it is on the right side, how much it is inside like this, and how much is it above the ground, right? So you need to tell me three numbers. Basically we are talking about length, breadth, and height. Three dimensions, correct? So that's why this is called 3D, and you cannot express it properly without using three numbers, right? Okay, so now I hope you remember that we studied this in chapter 3. Now this and this we are going to study in chapter 4. Okay, right. So coming back to this, right now let's keep it simple. Let's worry about only two. That is plane. Let's say this is actually a terrorist. All right, let's say that this person is actually a terrorist. All right, okay, went from here to there, right? So that's the position. Now I want all of you to understand that just like in 1D, that is in a straight line, right? Let's say this is 10, this is 20 meter, 30 meter, and so on. Okay, જો આમાં third chapter નું કેટલું બધું આવે જ રાખશે please. So make sure you remember the concepts. તો આખો chapter એમને આવડવા મળશે. So let's say that in 1D, okay, suppose we talk about 1D, suppose the person was standing here, then we'd say the position is plus 10. Agreed? right? But if that person would go and let's say stand over here, then we'd say position is minus 20, right? Okay, so you see, position is a vector. I repeat, I would have mentioned it, I'm sure. Position is a vector, right? Position is a vector because this plus sign is indicating towards the right side from here, and this minus sign is indicating towards the left side from here. I hope that makes sense to all of you, right? Huh? I I don't think people are active today. Are you all there? Are you listening? કે હજી ઊંઘ આવે છે? બહુ કાલ ભણ્યા છો રાતે એક્ઝામ માટે. ઓકે, રાઈટ. મને એમથી પાછું ફોન ચાલુ રાખીને સાઈડમાં બીજા સબ્જેક્ટની બુક લઈને નથી વાંચવા માંડ્યા ને? Okay, fine. Let's continue. So position is a vector. Again, vector is anything that must have a magnitude and it should also have a direction, right? Okay. Vector is anything that should have a magnitude and a direction. So this is position. It has a magnitude and direction both. Now here when we come to 2D, then the characteristics of direction will become absolutely clear. Let's take an example. So now Vedant, we are coming to what you were saying, right? About direction. So let's say once again that this is east. Sahil, I've already answered your question. You asked what is a vector. I said vector is anything that has position, that has magnitude and direction both. Simple. So let's say that, as usual, this is where the house is, right? And we are spying once again, okay? And the person stands over there, right? Somewhere in the forest, okay? Hiding from everyone. So this would be, let's take easy case. Suppose this would be 10 meter, right? And this would also be 10 meter. So do you realize that the position of this person from the house is 10 meter comma 10 meter, because it's like x coordinate, this is x and this is y. I don't think anyone has problem with that. Okay, no problem, Sahil. Right? So let's say 10, 10. Now, in this case, okay, this is one way to write it. Let's talk about another way. Do you understand that the distance from this house to this person by Pythagoras theorem is 10 root 2 meter, correct? Agreed? Okay. So then you could report it, you could report the position to your seniors and say Charlie reporting, sir, the terrorist is at distance, I repeat, terrorist is at distance 10 root 2 meter from house, right? In which direction? Exactly northeast. Okay. Right? So I hope you understood what I've written here. Now this northeast is actually a lucky coincidence because I've taken this as 10 and this is 10, so this is a right angle isosceles triangle, so this angle is 45 degrees. Agreed? So it's exactly between north and east. So a proper way to write it would be as follows: 45 degree north of east. right? Kunal, Pythagoras theorem. Vedant, are you going to do my promotion? Wonderful. Okay, so this is the other way. So if you realize carefully what we have done here, if you look at this is magnitude. I hope that makes sense. It's a number, it's a magnitude, correct? And this is telling you direction. Agreed or not? Right? So that is why I was saying that position is a vector. See? Right? If instead of this, we would have given only this information, right? Let's say you don't pass this information to your commanding station, right? So then that means this terrorist could be here also, or here also, or here also, or here also, or here also. Agreed? Right? 10 root 2 in any direction. So you see, it opens up lots of possibilities because this is not complete. Only saying this is incomplete, right? So you need the other number. You definitely need more information, and that more information is the angle or the direction. I hope that makes sense, right? That other information is this 45-degree north of east, right? So this is the thing about vectors, right? This is the thing about vectors. Now, so that's a basic idea. So please, the key thing to remember here is that position is a vector, right? Position is a vector. Okay, right? Now, so if it's a vector, we should have its symbol also, right? If you remember in the previous chapter, for position, we used to just write X or Y, correct? For horizontal cases, we used to take X, and for vertical, we used to take Y. But now that's not enough, because as you can clearly see, one way to talk about position is this also, correct? So now there's both X coordinate and Y coordinate, right? So it's unwise to choose X or Y. So we have to change our symbol. Remember, meaning of position will still not change, but we have to change our symbol, right? Again, position indicates where an object is situated or located. Where an object is located, right? That is called position. Fine. But now we are going to talk about it in vector form. So the symbol is symbol of position, vector. Symbol of position, which is a vector, of course, is this. R and a vector sign. See, this thing here indicates it's a vector. So arrow, this is like an arrowhead, right? So that arrowhead indicates that this thing is a vector. So it's a position vector. You can just say position, all right? Everyone will understand. Those who understand physics will understand that position must be a vector. It cannot be a scalar. It must have a direction, right? So this is the symbol. Again, what does this arrowhead indicate? It indicates that this is vector. I know uniform છે. Vector team વાળા હોય ને એ આવો uniform પહેરે. ટોપી પહેરીને રાખવાની. Is that clear? If you just write this and say this is position, then your position from this class will be removed. Okay? I repeat, this is not position. This is wrong. Okay? If you say this is position, you will lose your position from the class. Right? Must have that cap or hat. You don't have to type, you just write R vector, okay, no problem. Fine, you don't have to give a typing exam, of course, so why worry about that? In the textbook, listen to this carefully. In the textbook, for vectors, they write bold. So I think all of you understand what bold is, correct? So right. So wherever you see bold in your textbook, that means it's a vector. Okay, but I cannot write in bold, of course. I hope you realize if I suppose want to write R in bold, then I'll have to do it this way, right? I'm not going to do all that nonsense, right? So arrowhead is a very good way to indicate. In exam, you have to write like this only, okay? In exam, you have to write this. Exam ma bold karwa jaso to kyare puru thase, right? Okay, fine. So that's the symbol of position, which is a vector. That's why it's wearing this hat or arrow, right? ENO uniform છે, યાદ રાખવાનું. Now, this is not the only case of a vector. There's actually much more, right? So before we get on to all that, it is important to understand how to draw a vector, right? How to represent or draw a vector. So let's talk about that. Okay, we've got a white page. All right, representing a vector, right? How do we represent a vector? Well, a vector is represented by drawing an arrow. I repeat, it is represented by drawing an arrow. Okay, we just draw an arrow, maybe like this. Okay, so this is a vector, right? Okay, and in which direction? In this particular direction, maybe at angle 30 degree with x-axis like that. Okay, so that's how you indicate a vector. So suppose let's call this a vector, right? Suppose this is a vector, right? So you can say that a vector is at 30 degree with x-axis, maybe something like that, right? Okay, so I hope that's clear. Yes, we will, Vedant. Okay. Now, that's good as far as direction is concerned, right? The angle is indicating direction, very good. But what about magnitude? Because every vector must have a magnitude. So the idea is as follows, listen to this carefully. When we are drawing an arrow to represent a vector, when we draw an arrow to represent a vector, the length of the arrow indicates magnitude. The length of the arrow indicates magnitude. Okay. See, this is true for any vector. Let me tell you that. This is true for any kind of vector. Okay. Whenever we are drawing or representing vectors, at that time when you draw an arrow and you draw the length, right, whatever length of that arrow is, it indicates magnitude of the vector. So these are important things to remember, right? Again, length of the arrow indicates magnitude and angle indicates direction, right? I don't think this second one is a problem, right? Okay, so that's what we have. Now, based on this, we'll have to learn how to draw position vector. Angle will be given in question. It depends on the situation. આવો ક્વેશ્ચન ન આવે. આ તો બહુ સિમ્પલ છે. હજી તો ઘણું શીખવાનું છે. બરાબર ને? Okay. So let's go to that next thing. Let's go to the next thing. It is, if you want to draw position vector. So what is a position vector? Right? How do we exactly draw a position vector? I hope everyone is writing things. Okay. Let's say like we talk about the same, right? The terrorist, okay, and we are spying, maybe something like that. Okay, that would make it easy for you to understand, right? So in such a case, suppose the terrorist stands over there, and here as usual we take his house or his or her house as origin, right? And then we draw an arrow. Now how to draw the position vector? That's what I'm teaching you, right? Position vector is drawn from the origin or the reference point, wherever that reference point is, okay? Position vector is drawn from the origin or the reference point to the point where object is. To the point where object is. Okay. So here in this situation, I would have to draw an arrow like this. Clear? Okay, I'm erasing the terrorist, wiping the terrorist from the face of earth. Right, but I hope you understood that this arrow that I've drawn here is the position vector. Again, a position vector is always drawn from the origin or the reference point to the point where the object is. Okay. Please do that practically. Yes, I remember before a few years, I used to say it like, it's like a harpoon. You know what is a harpoon? How many of you know what is a harpoon? No? Okay, someone said yes, very good. A harpoon is like an arrow. A harpoon is like an arrow but with a rope attached, and it is fired typically to hit large aquatic animals like whales or sharks, right? Have you seen such things? Right? It is not typically used in fishing as such, right? Okay, fine. What is harpoon is not really the point here, but I hope you understand this is like a harpoon, isn't it? An arrow is shot all the way from here to there, right? And there is a rope attached, correct? So now let's talk about this vector, right? So this vector is called position vector, R vector. Why R? Because that's the symbol for position, right? R vector. Okay. So then you can say that this position vector is from origin to that point P, let's say, where that terrorist was standing. All right. Okay. I understood that, Fulak, but then I didn't want to comment because then we'd get distracted from physics. All right. So this is R vector, right? That's how you draw position vector, everyone. That's how you draw position vector. Now, do you see that this length from here to here, that is nothing but the magnitude. Agreed? right? I hope you understand that this length is indicating the magnitude. For example, if we take the case, that we are talking about 10 meter comma 10 meter, then this length is 10 root 2 meter, correct? I hope you understood that. The length of this arrow will be 10 root 2 meter, right? So that is what is meaning of magnitude, right? Magnitude is indicated again. Magnitude is indicated by the length of arrow. Okay. Magnitude is indicated by the length of the arrow, and direction of course by an angle. So maybe 45 degree of here, right? Like that. Okay. So that's how you draw position vector. Now, the moment you draw a position vector, right, the next thing that we should be talking about is displacement vector, isn't it? Right? Because if this position, and then we can always think that this terrorist might move, right? Okay, so we have to talk about displacement vector now. Okay. Is displacement a vector? Of course, yes, right? I told you that during the third chapter also, right? Displacement is definitely a vector, right? So over here, see, earlier in chapter 3, x was position and delta x was displacement, agreed? But now symbols have changed, right? The symbols are no longer same. They're different, right? R vector is position. So displacement vector symbol is delta R vector. Okay? I hope that is absolutely clear and symbol doesn't confuse anyone. Right? Delta R vector. Okay, now you might ask, can we write arrowhead like this, or can we write it like this? Generally people write it all the way through. Okay, it's fine, really. Don't worry too much about that. Nobody's going to bug you for drawing it in that way. But like I said, I've seen that books typically draw it like this, right? The other one is also not wrong. Okay, so this is displacement vector. Now no prizes for guessing this formula. Right? I don't think I have to say even a word of explanation here. Right? I'm absolutely confident that you would have understood. આલે હજી તો વેક્ટર્સ માંડ આવડતું હતું અને હવે વેક્ટરનું સબટ્રેક્શન એ કરાવડાવશો. હજી તો નંબરના સબટ્રેક્શનમાં અમે મિસ્ટેક કરીએ છીએ અને હવે તમે વેક્ટરનું સબટ્રેક્શન કરાવડાવશો. Oh, life is tough, isn't it? Okay, so how do we subtract vectors? That's a big question, right? That's a very big question. How do we subtract vectors? But first question that we should ask is, can we even add vectors, right? Addition and subtraction typically go hand in hand, right? So if you can add vectors, only then you can subtract vectors, right? So that's what we're going to learn. So you can say bye-bye displacement, right? We'll come back to you after some time. Okay. Right? First, we are off to learn how to add and subtract vectors. I hope everyone realizes what's the need. Do you agree that there is a need to understand these two now? Because displacement is actually a vector, right? So if you want to understand what displacement is, first we need to understand what's this, what's subtraction, right? Okay. So let's get on with that. Okay. Fine. Let me do it in the boring way, right? So first of all, triangle law of addition of vectors. So we are going to learn a rule, right? You have to follow this rule if you want to add vectors. Okay. And please everyone, this rule, this law gives you no liberty. Whatever is written in the law, you have to follow it exactly. Only then you will be able to add vectors. Otherwise you might get some other thing, right, and end up with a nonsensical answer, right? So follow this exactly. Okay. So before I actually write down the law, the steps and everything, right, let me build your intuition. Let me, build your understanding about how this is going to work. Okay. Okay. Here is the terrorist's house, all right? Okay. And let's say the terrorist first was at the house, okay. Then walks let's say 30 meter towards the east side. Okay, so from here walks till here. Okay, see, until this point this is just motion in a straight line. I hope you all realize that, correct? I don't think anyone has any problem with that, right? Yes or no? Right? Okay, fine. So the displacement is 30 meter. Let me call this the first part. Okay, first part of journey, right? So in the first part, the displacement is 30 meter towards the east, correct? See, you can use photo method also. I hope all of you remember photo method. Yes or no? Do you remember photo method? Terrorist was here, disappears and appears over here. Ta-da! Right? So how much did the terrorist get displaced by? Well, 30 meter and in the east direction. Very good. Fine. Now, in the second part, let's say terrorist finds that this position is risky or dangerous for him or her, right? So then decides to walk another 30 meter in the north direction, okay, in this direction, and then stands over there. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, Vedant, what you see on the screen is what we have been doing, right? So first the terrace in the first part goes 30 meter towards east, and in the second part, I hope if you only look at, suppose this is O origin, this is A and this is B, right? So this is displacement from O to A, and now this is displacement from A to B, right? So how much is the displacement from A to B? Can you all tell me, everybody? How much is the displacement from A to B? Remember, displacement is a vector. Remember, displacement is a vector. So it will have a magnitude, it will also have a direction. Incomplete answers, everyone. Yes, very good, Rishabh. Well done, Preet. Dia, incomplete answer. Sankirn, Ria, incomplete answers. No, Kavya. Yes, Ankita, well done. Well, everybody, you identified 30 meter, very good. But see, this is only magnitude. I told you that displacement is a vector. Displacement is a vector. So this will be 30 meter north. Do you agree with this? How many of you understood this second one? Can you please say yes or no? Right? North is also important. No, not clear, Nandini? This person moves towards north, right? In this direction. Agreed? So that's northwards, right? If, of course, if east is here, west is here, north will be here, and south will, south will be here, right? Okay. So now, if I ask you, what's the displacement? If I ask you, no, first forget about displacement. Let's talk about path length. Everybody, let's talk about path length. Okay, what's the path length in moving from O to B? Can you tell me that, everyone? What's the path length? What is the path length in moving from O to B? O to B. Very good. Well done. 60 meter. Well done, people. 60 meter. कोई बीजा आंसर आइपो दो, please. Correct yourself. 60 meter, right? 30 meter आम जानु and 30 meter ऊपर, right? That is, think about it practically. If there is a road like this, let's say near your home, and you walk like this 30 meter and then you walk like this 30 meter, how much did you walk? Of course 60 meter. Calorie at least बढ़ेगा. Okay. So now that's 60 meter. Let's talk about displacement. Displacement from O to B. Displacement from O to B. Very good, Raj. Yes. No, Sahil. 30 meter is wrong. Krisha, no way. How can it be 0? No, Nandini. No, Pinak, that's wrong. Okay. Most of you have identified it right. The answer is 30 root 2 meter. Displacement is 30 root 2 meter, but this is not enough. See, this is only magnitude, right? But displacement is a vector. It should have a direction also. So that direction is northeast, or you could say 45 degree north of east, right? So this is complete answer, right? What I am making a box around is the complete answer. Okay. 30 root 2 is incomplete answer, everyone, because displacement is a vector. So I hope you understood what I said. Every vector must have a magnitude. It should also have a direction. Okay. Now, how did people know this? Well, I think many of you understood that by intuition only. I didn't have to explain anything, right? You अंदर से ही आवाज आ रही थी that this will be 30 root 2, correct? But let's see the exact procedure. Let's see the exact procedure. It is as follows. Okay. You did it with calculator, you did it by Pythagoras theorem, okay, no problem. But what I'm asking is, how did you know that you have to do it by Pythagoras theorem? That's what I'm asking you, right? I did not teach you that. Did I teach you that? Did I tell you you will have to do it like this? But you should understand that all of us have some, અરે right angle triangle છે એ બરાબર, તો પછી તમે આ જ ડિસ્ટન્સ કેમ ફાઇન્ડ ન કર્યું? આ ફાઇન્ડ કરું તું ને, આને ડિસ્પ્લેસમેન્ટ ન કહેવાય? That's what I'm asking. See, all of you, I hope everyone will be able to understand the difference between physics and calculations. They are different. You used Pythagoras theorem because that is a calculation part. But what I'm trying to say is, તમને સમજાવ્યું કોણે કે ડિસ્પ્લેસમેન્ટ છે ને એ આ આવશે? What I'm asking you is, how did you know that this is displacement? Right? That's what I'm talking about. એને physics કહેવાય. તમે કરો છો Pythagoras theorem, that's calculation. So that's not what is the main point here, right? Fine, let's continue. Let's continue with the method. હા તો સાહિલ બધું યાદ રાખવું જોઈએ ને, પહેલાનું શીખવાડેલું તો બધું યાદ રાખો તો મારે કેટલું બધું ઓછું ભણાવવું પડે. Now, listen to this very carefully. A very simple way to understand this is the photo method. Again, right? This is initial, final. બરાબર ને? Photo method. So now we can just say that effectively the displacement is represented by this arrow. Agreed? Yes or no? This is the total displacement. Clear? I hope that makes sense to all of you. Okay, right? Again, photo method says you just look at initial, okay, here, you look at final, okay, here, and then how did the object move from initial to final? That's it, like this, right? Photo method, because you can't know where the object went. Again, do you remember that sentence? Displacement does not depend on path. Do you remember that? Displacement does not depend on path. No, I don't think you all remember. Do you? It only depends on what? It only depends on? It only depends on position. It only depends on what? Yes, Ami, very good. No, Dhruv. Yes, Zakid, well done. Well done, Rayan Khan. No, Jay. No, Rahul, not at all. It only depends on initial and final position. अरे यार, important sentences केम याद नहीं रखता हैं? Everyone, many gave right answer, but some of you were confused and many have not answered. So that's not what I like. People, સવારે ઉઠીને બ્રશ કરો ને એ પહેલા આજ સુધીના બધા ફિઝિક્સના ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ પોઈન્ટ્સ 5 મિનિટમાં વાંચી જવાના. Okay, so this is the displacement vector. Now you can clearly see, listen to this everyone, we have got this displacement vector, just by joining the initial and final position, correct? I hope you understood what I am saying. We have got this displacement vector just by joining the initial position and the final position, right? And do you also remember that sentence? Magnitude of displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point or position, right? You remember that sentence, everyone? Magnitude of displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final position. So you would say, have a look. Have a look. This is the shortest distance, isn't it? Shortest distance must be straight, correct? Between these 2 points, right? So that distance is 10 root 2 meter. That's the magnitude, everyone. Joe, that's the magnitude. Oh, sorry, 30 root 2, not 10 root 2, excuse me. I thought we are still having 10 here. 30 root 2 meter is the magnitude, right? And look at this vector. This vector is in which direction? 45 degree north of east. Clear? Is this absolutely clear, everyone? Okay, to test your concept, here is a quick fire question. Okay, suppose a person walks 40 meter east from origin, okay, then walks 30 meter north and then walks 60 meter south. Okay. What is the displacement? What is the displacement of this person? Come on, hurry up, quick fire question, 1 minute only. See, when I ask you displacement, it means you have to tell me both magnitude and direction. ખાલી magnitude કે છે ને એ બધાનો આન્સર ખોટો. Okay, not valid. Only magnitude can never be the answer. I repeat, because displacement is a vector. દર વખતે 30 root 2. No, I have not got a single correct answer yet. Hurry up, people, hurry up. Is everyone drawing diagram? Are you drawing? No. No correct answers yet. No correct answers yet. Okay, Yashvi, in the right direction. Very good. No forum. Magnitude cannot be negative. No, Ankita. Well, how do you know it is 40 degree, Neil? South? Arkan, are you sure it's in the south? Okay, well, here is the method. Okay, here is origin. All right. So now, person walks 40 meter east. Okay. Then 30 meter north till here. And then walks 60 meter south. કૂતરું જોઈ ગયો હશે એટલે પાછો દોડ્યો. Like this. So I hope you realize 60 from here means 30 from here. Agreed? So this is where the person is. Here. Right? So final answer is as follows. This is where the person starts. This is initial and this is final. So use photo method. Okay, use photo method from here to here. Agreed? Agreed, right? So this is clearly 50 meter in length, right? So magnitude is 50 meter. Okay, magnitude is 50 meter. But what about direction? Well, this direction is not exactly southeast. Let me tell you that. Okay, this is not exactly southeast. Of course, this is east, this is north, this is west, and this is south, right? This is not exactly southeast, because southeast means 45 degree. This is not going to be 45 degree. I hope you realize that if you draw a triangle like this, so that this side is 40 and this side is 30, it's not going to be 45, right? This violates trigonometry equations. Okay, so in fact this angle is going to be 37, right? I'm not going to explain right now how it is 37, so please don't worry about that. We'll talk about it tomorrow, right? The answer is 37 degree, 37 degree south of east. The answer will be 37 degrees south of east. Okay, it's not exactly southeast, right? It is not exactly southeast. Exactly southeast 45 degree per hour, like this. Okay, that would be exact southeast. Okay, right? How do I know this is 37 degree? I'll tell you that. Okay, next time. Fine. Goodbye, everyone.